Hey guys, so you are catching us at the end of a long week of frustration, struggle, and failure, mostly on my part. So this week was going to be the week that I knocked out most of the electrical system, and for a number of reasons, it is not done. Mainly because I don't know how to do stuff. So I think I spent an entire day, well, it doesn't matter, we can dive into it. That's what this week is. It's going to show you what little we have done, and just know that I was here for 4 days for multiple hours at a time, and this is all that we have done. Check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the Tale of Two Smitties. In this week's episode, we're going to be focused on the electrical system. Now, last week in our live video, we touched on some of the projects we have left. We talked about moving out of our apartment. A little bit of a crazy time for us, so probably going to be getting a little bit less done this week than we typically do, but going to try and tackle some of this electrical system. So we went ahead and bought most of the components for what we're going to be installing. Now, I want to preface by saying that there's going to be more to our electrical system than we'll be installing now. We're going to eventually have solar panels and an entire battery bank system so that we can be completely off-grid. But because initially we're going to be living off of shore power, we'll be plugged in somewhere, either at an RV park, a campground, or on private property. We don't need that entire system. So because of how costly it is, we'd like to be able to spread that out. And so for now, we're going to be installing just the electrical system. So we went ahead and still bought a whole chunk of stuff. It was a nice chunk of change. Inverter charger, that is going to convert our 110 power that comes into the bus into 12 volt power. It's also going to feed the one battery that we do have so that we can run our entire 12 volt system, and some other items. So we'll walk through that. Hey, before we get started, if you're new here, you can actually subscribe to our channel. You can click the button below, and that'll give you updates as we load videos. There's a little bell that you can click that bell and receive personalized notifications every time we upload a new video. Keeps you up to date. And by the way, that actually helps out our channel too. So go ahead and do that. If you've been here before and you're excited to see this electrical system, go ahead and click that like button. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the Tale of Two Smitties. We're Cody and Laura, and if you're new here, let's catch you up. Before winter, we bought a school bus, a big, yellow school bus. Cody flew out to Phoenix with Laura's dad, Grant, to make the drive back to downtown Dallas. Since then, we've been plugging away on our Skoolie bus conversion, turning a bus into a tiny home on wheels. We've had help from both of our dads, Cody's dad, Wayne, and Laura's dad, Grant. So, if you'd like to follow along on our journey towards bus life, click subscribe and sit back, relax, and enjoy the Tale of Two Smitties. Okay, so I'm going to leave out the hours of video of me staring at this system and cursing my own efforts. We'll jump to later in the week. Here I'm actually getting something done. I'm making a cable. I'll link all of these items in the description below, but I'm using a 4/0 AWG welding cable here. Step one is to cut it down to size. Now I bought a ratcheting cable cutter, again link in description, that is supposed to cut up to 500 MCM, which is about twice the size of this 4/0 cable. Some of the Amazon reviews said that it was a struggle beyond 4/0, but I didn't have any issues. It cut through the cable kind of like butter. Step two is to attach the lug. Now, naturally, I skip this step. I'll realize later on off camera when the cable pulls right out of the connection. Do not skip this step unless you really want a loose wire setting your house on fire. But when I do go back and attach the lug connection, I use a hammer lug crimper tool, several whacks of the hammer, and we're good to go. Now you can move on to step three, which is the heat shrink. I bought heat shrink that has glue on the inside, which is great when you do it right, holds it in place nicely, and it's a pain in the neck when you have to redo your work, I can tell you from experience. Now we have a 4/0 cable ready to install. Here I'm connecting the inverter charger to the Lynx distributor, which is also from Victron, and it will serve as our DC bus bar. Okay, this is a 400 amp fuse. If this pops, we got some problems. Okay. So this is just the only spot, right? I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to get this on there.
That was the one that's kind of twisted?
Yeah, but it's not that. I mean, that just makes it annoying. It won't fit between here. So like how this black one sits between there, but it pushes on this a little bit, and so it makes it too tight. So I was thinking of trying to cut out some of this plastic piece, but so even with the twisting, like I can twist it to get it on there. But then see here, it doesn't sit down in there. See how it hits that plastic? Yeah. Second one, bing bada boom, I gotta put that other one on. And then it's this that goes to that. Okay.
I'm here too, guys.
Now Laura's making a 6-gauge cable to connect the distribution box to the Lynx distributor.
Whoa!
All right, guys, this is where we're going to leave you. You'll be able to see in some of these background clips that 6-gauge wire that we just installed, but we figured this is a pretty good stopping point at the end of the week at 8:30 at night. So we'll catch you next week. We're doing a little bit of traveling this week, so we will see you next week.